Hi. All right. Welcome to part two. I'm Miss Webster again, and we're going to do part two of our portrait lesson. And I need you to gather a few supplies. You're going to need a piece of paper, just a blank piece of paper, some scissors, an eraser, and a pencil. That's all you need. So go ahead and gather your supplies. Pause me if you need to, and come on back. I'm going to switch my screen so that you can follow along with me as I do our portrait lesson. Okay, so you should have all these supplies now. A couple of things we're going to do is I'm actually going to make our paper smaller because we're just doing practice sketches. And so you might want to first fold your paper in half. So we're going to make it smaller. And you can choose to either do one on this side and one on this side if you want them this big, or you can fold it one more time. So you fold it one more time in half. And then you have 4 thumbnails that you can practice on. And remember, you want them portrait direction, not landscape, okay? So you want them portrait, like a face. Now you can either leave it like this and have multiple ways to practice, or you can cut it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut mine. You don't have to. That's only if you want to. You can leave it folded. And this is a practice session. Now, we probably won't get through all of these. You can do some more on your own. I'm just going to mainly show you one with different ideas, and then you can use these to practice some more before our next lesson that we'll do for our more final project with the portrait. Okay, so go ahead and get what paper you want ready, whatever size that you want handy, and we'll get started. Okie dokie. I'm going to come back really quickly. Okay, I'm gonna switch my screen. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm going to show you what we talked about last time, remember, with the portraits, and we're just gonna review some of the steps of how to do a portrait. So let me share this with you. Here we go. All right. So last time we talked about the different steps of how to do a face portrait. So I'm going to start right here so that you can see that. Now I'm going to be drawing with you guys, but I just wanted to kind of show you briefly how we're going to start different size of a face. A lot of the time I start with a U shape and then I kind of change my jawline. Then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a line down the center, which is called the line of symmetry, a halfway line horizontally, which is where the eyes go, and then halfway between that line and the bottom where the chin is, then we're going to be doing the nose, and then we'll be doing a line in between these two right here for the mouth. So we will be doing different steps for that. Then once we've done that, we will actually start to draw the different features. So I'm just showing you briefly so you have an idea what we're going to be doing. Then we'll be doing the ears, the neck. I'm going to show you a little bit of how to do the shoulders as well, and then we'll start the hairline. Now, if you notice, the hair goes below the line we did for the head. And that line, that gray line, is eventually going to be erased because our hair is going to go above and below. So you're just going to follow step by step with me so that you'll understand how to do all of these different things. And then remember, as I'm working on it, you can kind of make it your own and say, well, I have a little mole here, or maybe you have a scar on your forehead, or maybe you have freckles or glasses, and I can show you how to make glasses as well. There are lots of varieties of ways to do eyes. I'm going to show you a little bit more in depth, and then you can always change them when we're finished. And then again, here is a girl with glasses. We've got, this boy has a little bit of spiky hair, and then some curly hair, some freckles. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy doing this with me and still making it your own. Even though I'm giving you techniques and guidelines to do, this is just for you to practice. And then after you've done one, then you can practice again and again until you have one that you really like. Once you have one that you really like, then the next step will be drawing yours with pencil, outlining the one that you like with a black Sharpie, and then we're going to talk about doing different values and shades of one color, which is monochromatic, and we'll be doing that in the next lesson. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to be working on with you. Okay, so you have whatever size paper you want. This one's about the size of my hand. If you want to do it bigger, you can. It's completely up to you. So the first thing that we're going to start with is a U shape. Now you're going to want to leave a little bit of room for your neck and shoulders area, and then at the top for your hair. So you probably want to do your U shape about this size in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to do what's called sketching right now. So I'm going to do it darker so you can see it, but you can do it very lightly. You don't need to push very hard. I'm doing these little lines as I go around. Okay, so I have, just a practiced U shape like this. Okay. Okay, so I just sketched that. And you might need to fix this if you have more of a jaw that comes in like this. Maybe you have more of a flat jaw, so you want to go in just a little bit and then down. So it's just kind of completely up to you. Look in the mirror. You can pause and look in the mirror and see, is my face more oval? Is it more round? Is it more rectangle? But I'm just doing this really lightly. I'm just sketching. Okay. Then I want to do the top of the head. Now this top part we will be erasing because you're going to be put hair over it. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can see this better. And again, I might do mine a little bit darker just because I want you to see it on the screen. But you are more than welcome to pause this if I'm going too fast ever. Okay, and you can do yours a lot lighter. Okay, so we've got that ready. Now once we have the shape of the head, we're going to eyeball the best we can around the middle of the top of the head. And I'm just going to do a really soft, thin line going down. Now you are welcome to use a ruler if you want to get more exact. I'm just teaching you how to kind of do a quick portrait more easily. So then between this part, top of the head and your chin, you're going to guess about where the halfway mark is there. You could even put your pencil there and see if that works. And then you're going to go just across there lightly. These lines are called guidelines and we will be erasing them. This is the line of symmetry to keep both sides symmetrical. These horizontal lines are going to help us know where to put the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So now I'm going to go between halfway, this line, and the chin, and just sketch a line halfway there. And then I'm going to go from this point to this bottom chin, like this, and have that sketch. So now I have all the lines that I need. Now you can actually draw darker if you want on the next steps. However, remember, anything that you do dark, it's harder to erase. So if you want to start light and then do it dark once you like what you have, that's also a good way to do it. The first thing we're going to start with is a circle on the eyes in the middle on both sides, right there on the line. So in the middle of this half and the middle of this half. Then we're going to do an arch, kind of like a frowny face, at the top of the eye, going up and over and back down to the line. Now again, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video. On the bottom, I'm gonna go in just a little bit to a point and then down like a smiley face and back up. Notice I have a little space between the eyeball. I'm gonna do the same on this side as well. Go in just a little bit, down like a smiley face, and back up. Now, I'm also going to show an eyelid. We still can see our eyelids, the crease of it, when our eyes are open. So from one point to the other on the top, I'm just going to go up and over and back down. Up and over and back down. Okay, the next step are our eyelashes. Now, we all have eyelashes. Some of us have longer eyelashes than others, but let's first start on the little top lip of this eyelid and just start with them really small, but you can still see through them to the eyelid. So I'm just doing these little thin lines. You can have them more closer together, more spread out. If you want them to look more girly, then you would just touch the outside of the eye and curve it in and out, in and out. And you can either leave it like this or you can do it all the way across. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and do a face for you on this side. That's more like a girl, this side more like a boy. So that you can see, you know, the differences of both, and then you can do it symmetrically for you, symmetrical on this side and this side. So if you're wanting longer eyelashes, do it on both sides. If you want shorter eyelashes, do it on both sides. Remember, you can tweak any part of this lesson to look more like you. Okay, now we are going to lightly erase, I'm just barely touching my paper, the line that's going through the center of my eye, because it'll be harder later. So we're just going to do that right now. And then just brush that off carefully. Now I have those cleaned out. I'm going to do the pupil part of the eye, the center of the eyeball. I'm going to add a little circle that's going to have a little white spot left there, because we usually have a reflection in our eye when we are looking at someone or a picture's taken of us. So you can put that anywhere you want, but wherever you do put that in the eye, you want to make sure you do it on the same spot on both sides, and then you can color in the rest of this. Just fill that in. All right, we have most of that finished. Now we are going to do the eyebrows. There's different shapes of eyebrows, so if you'd like to go look in the mirror really quick, where we're going to start them is on the inside of the eyeball. Go up a little ways, and that's where the eyebrow usually starts. Now this one is more pointed, and then it comes down. And notice it goes a little bit past where the end of the eye or the edge of the eye stops. Over here, again, I'm going to start where the eye is in the middle, go up a ways, and then this one is just curved around. And again, it goes a little bit past the edge of the eye. So you can either have more of a pointed, I don't know why my eraser is kind of yellow. Maybe I had some colored pencil on it or something. Try and erase that. There we go. So this one's more of a pointed one. Now to make it a little more realistic, in the center, you want to make it more bushy. So I'm just doing some lines. Most of them are just vertically up and down. And then when I get further out, I'm going to go smaller and smaller. But then I like to make it look more filled in. So now I'm going to do some diagonal lines just in front of that and get it a little bit smaller. Even going to do this a little smaller right here. And then I might even add a few more lines. You can even do like little X's on top of each other to do those little lines for your eyebrows. They're going to be thicker and more bushy in the center. Now, if you have lighter eyebrows, like you have light color of hair, you can just barely touch your paper and do them super soft. So you're barely touching the paper, okay? And then you just go over it again. Then I do some diagonal lines. And then maybe I do some other little ski-wampus lines sticking out, going back and forth. But again, I'm not doing it very hard or dark. If I have lighter color hair, my eyebrows are usually going to be lighter. And if my hair is darker, it's usually going to be darker. So those two different types of eyebrows, two different types of eyelashes. Now we're going to go into the nose. So when you go down to the next line, you're going to do a slight smile, not very much of a smile, just very thin and subtle. Then you're going to start to curve around for this side of the nose where the nostrils are. And you can look and see if you have a wider nose, does it go a little bit wider and larger, or is it thinner? You can, look and decide. And then I just take these lines and go up just a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to make my little nostrils in front, and you can do a half circle or more of an oval shape. So if you want more of an oval shape, I will show you on this one. Instead of it being a half circle, it's going to be a half oval, and it's going to be longer. So everyone has different shapes of nose, and then you're going to fill that space in. So it's, shadowed underneath. So you might have a longer nostril or a more rounded one. Then I'm going to erase these lines in the middle. I don't need those anymore. And the one down the center of the nose. Then I'm going to take this part of the nose and curve it like a little smiley face. You can make that more pointed. You could make it more rounded. And I'm going to go in my nostril just a little bit. Now you can decide, and again, mine looks different because I'm doing two different faces, one on each side. So mine might look a little bit weird. Okay. Now, on one side, if you want to take the nose and go upward towards the eyebrow and then curve it, I'm going to show you what it would look like if you did that on one side. Now you could do this on both sides. You can leave it shorter because we don't always see the line so distinct on our nose. It blends in with our skin. We're going to do some shading though. So we're going to very lightly touch our paper and go alongside the nose, a little bit under the eyebrow, and a little bit under the eye. Now, right now, I'm just lightly touching my paper, and I'm going a little bit under the nose, out to the side. And then I'm just going to kind of smooth that out. You can even use your finger, but just be careful not to smear the rest of your work. Then when I get closer to the nose, it's a little bit darker right here. So I'm not going to push very hard, but I am going to go over this area just one more time because it's a little bit darker right there. So then it's starting to create form, more of a 3D shape to your nose, rather than it just being a 2D, two-dimensional picture. So this just kind of helps to make it look more realistic. And then you can either do that on the same, do that same thing on the other side, but normally your face is only going to be shadowed on one side, depending on the direction of the light. So I usually this side, I really lightly, like super light, will do the shape of the nose on that side because it's more blended in with the skin. All right. Do a few more lines right here. Okay, now we're going to go over to the line of the mouth. Now again, take your time, pause this as you need to. Okay, I'm going to do a line that's straight across, and then I'm going to slightly just curve it up a little bit past where the nose is. And then we're going to make lips. So this line right here is when you close your mouth, you can see that dark line between your lips. And so we're going to do lip above and below. You're just going to go a little bit above this line and kind of make a V in the center and then go down on the other side to make your lip. So it looks like a mountain. And then below the lip, I'm going to make another line. And then I'm going to curve that up towards the line. Now, you can connect these to make them look a little more realistic. If you want it more rounded, just go over it a couple of times, curve it, connect your lip underneath. I'm going to erase the line now that's in between and below. And if you erase any part of the mouth, just go back over it. That's totally fine. You might want to add a little bit of shading inside on the same side that we did our shading on the nose. Another thing you could do is you can add lines to the top of your lips to also make them look more realistic, even to the bottom of the lips. And then we're also going to do the ears next. So on the ears, we're going to do a little bit of a frowny face on both sides of the line. Just do your best to make them look as realistic as you can. You're going to come down and around, and then you're going to go back in a little ways and then down and curve it up towards the ear. Now, some of us have larger ears, some of us have thinner ears, more pointy ears. So look at your ears and say, you know, mine goes up a little bit more and comes down, it's a little bit thinner. Okay, that's fine. You know, then you can fix that. So I want you to look at your ears and see the shape of your ear. Maybe your earlobe down here doesn't go down that far. You know, maybe it's a little bit shorter. So when you're doing the ears, you want to go check out kind of the shape of your ear. And then I'm going to do the same on this side. However, I'm going to actually do a different ear. This ear is a little different where it's just going to come down and kind of to a diagonal line, and then it's going to curve back up. Now, notice I tried to keep mine the same size, but if you have longer ears and they go down a little bit past your nose more, then you're going to want to add that. But the differences between these two ears is the inside shape, right? I mean, the little indent right here on this one, because it's not on that one. Then the inside, I did the same line that I did on the outer side. And then there's that little piece of cartilage sticking out. I just do kind of like almost a half heart. Okay, now that we have our ears, and again, I'm doing two different faces. So I have one face like this with a little bit different eyebrow and ears. And then on this side, I have some shading, different earlobe, different eyelashes and eyebrow. Okay, so now we're going to continue. Now I'm going to go, I'm going to do the chin. So I'm going to go a little bit above this line from the mouth. I'm going to touch the side of the face and start to curve my neck down. So I'm going the side of the face and I'm curving in and then down. And I'm going to do that on the other side. I start above this line because as I come down, I start to curve right at that line. Okay. And some of us will have longer necks than others. Some of us have wider, larger necks. So just check the mirror. Okay, then we're going to do some shoulders. So we're going to do a little bit of a diagonal line right here. Then I'm going to go out to the side. And when you look in the ear, you will notice that your shoulders go quite a ways past your ears. So you're still going out towards the side of the paper before you're even, you know, barely curving those shoulders. Okay. Now I'm going to do a line right here because I'm going to be doing two different types of shirts for you. Okay. Everyone has a different style and you can change it however you want. Okay, so if you want to do like a curved neckline, like a t-shirt or something like that, you could curve this up towards the neck, but when you get towards the neck, you're going to go out just little ways and then to the side and touch the side of the neck. So it looks like it's going behind the neck. Okay, then you're going to start from the top of that where you just ended, and you're going to come down and around and continue that line. And then of course you're going to want to erase any part that you see behind that because you want that to look like it's in front. And then I just continue off of this to, you know, make this darker. So it's part of the shirt now. And make this a little bit darker. You could even just color this in. Then you would hide that neck, the line of the shirt or shoulders, you know, very well. Now, maybe you want to add some ruffles. You could add some ruffles on your shirt. Maybe you want to add stripes or buttons. You know, maybe you want to add some buttons. And again, I'm just showing some different examples. So that's one side. The other way you could do it is you could do more of a straight, you know, shirt going down like this, and then still have it curved around the back of the neck. I'm still going to come off of this, and then I'm going to make like a collar. It's going to come around, and then it's going to go in and back to that point. So a collared shirt. And I'm going to erase the line that's showing my shoulder area. And then come back to the top of this point. And when you come down and out, you're going to, you know, make this now the connected shirt. I keep trying to use that other eraser, but for some reason it has like greenish yellow on it. So, okay. Now you could also add a pocket if you want. You know, maybe you've got a pocket on your shirt. You've got a pin, so you do a rectangle and a half circle, and then a little clip off the side of it, something like that. You could add stripes to your shirt. And I'm just sketching some ideas for you right now. Again, you can change this. You can add designs. Maybe you want flowers on it. Maybe you just want some polka dots on your shirt. But you're not going to see much more than that of your shirt. So far we have this side and this side coming together. Okay, now we are going to do the hair. The hair is really important. There's a lot of different ways to do hair. It's hard for me to show you every way to do hair in one session, but I will show you the basics, and then you can add, you know, whatever you want. You can go back to the beginning of the video and pause the different hairstyles I showed you, and that would also help. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to do more of a girl hairstyle. So I'm going to come down a little bit, maybe halfway from the top of the head. And I'm going to do just, you know, kind of some bangs right here. You know, they might be a little bit wispy like this. And then it's going to go inside the head and to the ear. Okay, so I've got some wispy bangs. I can make it really curly. I could make it more jaggedy. It just kind of depends on, you know, if you have bangs or if you just have a hairline right there. Then you're going to go a little bit above the head, and I'm just going to make it a little bit wavy. Now, if you have longer hair, it's going to go past the outside of the ear, and I just go out and in, make it a little wavy, and back to the side. Then you're going to want to erase the line that we had. Remember, I told you for the head, so that the hair is covering it. Okay, so then when you're looking at the picture, I can erase this line now. Any of the guidelines that we don't need anymore, you can erase. I'm going to fix this chin just a little bit. Okay, so here is the picture of the girl. Now, if she wants to add details, like maybe you love to wear earrings, you can add earrings. Okay. Okay, so maybe you're wearing earrings. Maybe you have freckles. So add a little bit of freckles. I forgot to erase this line right here and this line. So you can go ahead and erase those lines. Okay, so we've got her finished. Now you can also add, you know, a few lines for outlining the hair, okay? Now, if your hair's longer than that, you would just continue the hair and stop at the shoulder so it looks like it's going behind, or you can go past the shoulder. Let's say you went down to here. Let's say you brought all the hair down here and did it over to this point where the neck is, and then you go up to the neck. You would have to erase this part. You would erase this part of the shirt so you no longer see, you know, that shirt is, I'm actually gonna show you a picture so you can see that. Okay, so here's another one that I did where the hair is going past the shoulder. And you see how I erased part of that shirt. And once you color it all in, you will cover up that part that you erased. I even added glasses on her on this one, and I'll show you how to do that on the other picture. Okay, so there's the girl. Now I'm going to be working on the boy. Okay, so now, move that just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to start for his hairline. And, you know, maybe his is a little more jaggedy. I'm going to make these little, I call them shark teeth. And then it still goes down on the inside and touches the top of the ear. And then on the top right here, this part, you're going to go above the head again. I'm going to do some jagged lines and have some hair sticking out a little bit. And then it comes around and touches the top of the ear again. Then erase that part of the head. Now we can erase the center. Erase it right here. Sometimes I like to put a paper on the other half so I'm not rubbing it with my hand so much. You know, it doesn't smear it. Just a trick that might help you. And then we could add glasses for him if any of you have glasses. They're really easy to do. So, okay, now I have the picture of the boy. And you can see him right there. And if we were to add glasses on his face, what we would do is put the rims around the eye. So if you have circle rims, you might have rectangle rims, whatever style. Then take a line and go to the top of the ear and stop. Then take another line horizontally to the side of the nose. Now you want to make sure you curve this line up and over so it looks like it's sitting on the nose. It's got to be curved. Okay, so it looks like it's sitting on the nose. And you might want to do that, you know, a little thicker so that you can see that line very clearly. Okay, and that's how you do glasses. Now, maybe you have a mole by your face or a scar on your chin, you know, or other details like that. And again, you're doing one face. I'm showing you two different ones. You know, you're probably going to have a little bit of shading underneath the neck, especially because you've got shading on this side of the face. So I'm just doing that very lightly. And then the closer you are to the chin and the object of the face, it's going to be a little bit darker. Okay, so if you have any questions, ask your parents, your teachers. You could put them in the comments. But I hope that you have enjoyed creating your self-portrait. Now, we will be doing part 3 of this lesson, where we're going to talk about how to outline it, how to do the monochromatic colors with colored pencils and crayons. And then I want you guys to practice more and more, okay? So you're going to practice when you get, oh, let me get off of this screen share. Hold on one sec. I'm just, okay. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Back to me. Okay, so what I was saying is I hope you guys will practice multiple times. So you can go back and rewind to look at the slideshow and pause it for different eyes, for different shapes of the face, for glasses, for different hairstyles, and then just keep practicing. You can practice up to 4 times on one sheet of paper. And then the one that you like, that is your favorite, and that looks most like you, is the one that we're going to be outlining and coloring. So I'm gonna try and find my picture if I can. It's here somewhere. Okay, let's see. I had it here, and then of course it disappeared. Let's see. Okay, I found it. So when you get your picture, then we're gonna go over all this next time. Outlining, how to, blend and shade and do value, okay? All right, well, we are gonna end our session with a little cheer again. So if you want to do it with me, here we go. 1, 2, 3, hee hee, ow! Have an awesome day.